Hey, what's up? Aisen from the Asian Dating Coach here. And today we're going to go over the 4 dating advice for Asian men so that you can start dating and attracting the kinds of women that you want into your life this year. Let's do it. Now, starting with the first dating advice, which is don't be afraid to be Asian, right? This is skin color that we're born with. We can't really change anything about it. And a lot of times, guys would live their lives trying to be something they're not. If they're in a predominantly white space, they might try to act more white, dress more white, talk more white, or perhaps you know be engaged in things that white people like so that they can fit in. And other times they might be ashamed of their Asian heritage, or they try to downplay it, which can be seen as very a little bit sad because a lot of times whenever we're not comfortable or we're not confident in ourselves, other people notice that and they think that we're lacking something and we're trying to overcompensate. So this is my advice for you: is just to be proud of who you are and your race, because we do have a lot of great qualities. We have a lot of great traits, like we have a rich culture, we have great foods, we have skin that age really well, a lot of things, right? And we also come from a pretty good family, most of us, and we're educated, we speak well, and people respect us in the business world. Now, I have another example for you, and this is a true story from whenever I used to work in the entertainment industry. And this story, was started off really good because this girl, this Asian girl, she got this audition and she got the role for this upcoming movie. It's a pretty big role, supporting actress, and she was really excited about it. And so what she did was she got so excited that she decided to get some plastic surgery, and this time she got double eyelid surgery. She had monolids before. Now she wants to become double eyelids or have double eyelids. So she did that. She was very excited about it. It healed after a few weeks, and she was feeling good. And then whenever it came time to shoot the movie, she went in, and the director was like, "Hey, what's going on? Like, what happened to your face?" And she was like, "Oh yeah, I just got this surgery done. Do you like it?" And unfortunately, they had to cut her out because the character that she was casted for didn't have double eyelids, and they liked her because she had a very traditional Asian look, and that was why she got the role in the first place. One of the reasons. So unfortunately, she got cut, and they had to recast. Just goes to show that a lot of times we might think we have certain flaws, but other people see those flaws and really feel like they're more advantageous to you than a flaw, really a beauty than a flaw. So just like if someone has like a mole on their face, it can be seen as ugly, but other people might see it as a beauty mark, just like Marilyn Monroe. And a lot of people do get piercings to look that way nowadays. So my advice for you is to actually seek control and take control of the things that you can control. I know I say control a lot of times, but actually focus on the things that you can change about yourself, like learning a new skill, right? The way you dress, the way you style your hair, the way you talk to people, communication, learning how to overcome anxiety, things like that, right? Having better friendships with your family, maybe even getting a better job, right? These are some things that we can control, and they're gonna dramatically increase the uh, outcome of our love life as well. Because if we're happy with everything else in our lives, then we are confident in ourselves, and we are comfortable in our own skin, and people can see that, and we have more control in that part of the area, in that area of our lives. So take control of the places that you can control, and don't worry about things that you can't. All right, so this goes on to dating tip number two, dating advice number two for Asian guys, which is understanding your self-worth. you know a lot of clients come to me, and they look great on paper, meaning that they have a good job, they make good money, 6 figures at least. They're dressed well, they understand how to talk to people, very colloquial, right? Have a great personality, but when it comes to dating, they feel like they're not good enough for other women. And this is because of a lot of times their upbringing, right? They come from an Asian background, their parents might have forced them, or made them feel like they're not worthy enough, because we tend to only get backlash for the things that we've done wrong and not praises for the things that we did right. So that, might play a big part into that. And a lot of times because of that, these guys, they feel like they're not confident and they're always they're chasing after something else, right? Let's say right now, this guy bought like a 4 bedroom house. Now this guy wants to work harder to get a 6 bedroom house. It's always the next thing. And then once they get the next thing, they're happy for like maybe a day or two, and it's on to the next thing. So, and this is what I call the when I get this syndrome, meaning that when I get this house, I'm gonna feel better about myself and I'm gonna talk to this girl. Or when I get this car, or when I get this new job, I'm gonna start talking to girls. And usually guys with this, syndrome, they never feel better about themselves. They just want to chase the next best thing. So to combat that, what I suggest is be grateful of the things you have. Look around you, right? Look around your apartment, your house, what you have, your job, your friends, and really look at the things you're grateful for, because these things can be taken away any minute. And a lot of times we tend to notice or focus on things that we don't have to make us happy, rather than look at the things around us that we already have that could make us happy. So focus, look at your friends. You have great friends. You have a great job. You have a great career. You have a family that loves you. You have a car that you can drive. You have a shelter that you can, live under. Things like that, right? And then once you be grateful, once you are grateful for these things, more things are gonna come. And I'm not telling you to like stop improving and just like let life be. I'm saying that it's okay to improve, but be happy of the place that you are now. It's more so about the journey of getting there than like the destination. Because once you get there, you're gonna be bored again. All right. So I have a pretty funny example, and this is from an actual client of mine a couple years back. So this guy, I'm not gonna name his name, but he used to work in San Francisco Bay Area, and he was doing pretty well for himself. He was an engineer, software engineer, so he was really good at writing codes and stuff. And but he felt like he wasn't good with girls, because he would notice that the guys who were like fuckboys would get all the girls. So he was coming to me, he was asking me, "Hey, Aisen, like, how do I become a fuckboy?" And I was looking at him like, "What? Why would you want to be a fuckboy if you're like all of this, right? You have a great house, you have a great car, you got 401k, all that stuff." He was like, "No, because all these guys that are fuckboys, they get all the ladies." I'm just like, "Come on, man! Like, we can't swoop down to their level, right? We have to get it up, elevate yourself, and see how we can become the best version of yourself. Whether it be be learning how to be more conversational, or learning how to love yourself, seeing your self-worth, noticing the things that you love, and what are some things you can focus on yourself to become better, then how do you become something you're not, right?" And that's what I teach, honesty, like being honest with yourself, like look at yourself, like who are you? What do you want to be? Like, how do you get there, right? Instead of like trying to become something you're not and like fooling other people so that you can get instant gratification, which leads to a toxic relationship, or regress in the future. Moving on to the next point, which is dating advice number 3, which is don't try to be too agreeable. A lot of times guys would try to agree with the girl with everything she says because he likes the girl. A lot of times, even if he doesn't agree with her mentally, he would say that, "Oh yeah, you're right, I like that too." Just like a good example that I have right now is whenever we talk about food. Sometimes people like pineapple on pizza. Some people think it's terrible. Like me, I don't like pineapple on pizza. I don't know why people do that, but other people might disagree with me, right? And if a girl says, "Hey, like I love pineapple on pizza," like for example, like if a guy agrees with her and well, internally he's like struggling and he's like, "Hey, I hate that," but in that instance, because he wants to earn some favors from her or make her like him better, he agrees with her. And eventually she's going to find out, and he's going to, feel bad about lying to her in the first place, and that's not going to be very healthy for both of them. So my best advice for you is to be honest with yourself, with her, because whenever you're lying to her, you're not being honest with yourself, and whenever you're not honest with yourself, you're not having integrity. So be honest, have integrity, and just don't be afraid to show Don't be afraid to share your opinions, because girls like guys who can formulate their own thoughts and aren't afraid to be a little bit controversial. And this concept of honesty flows perfectly into the fourth dating advice for Asian guys, which is letting your intentions known. I see this a lot in younger guys as well as older guys nowadays, because when we're younger, we're taught to be obedient. We're taught to not seek confrontation, not seek conflicts, avoid these things, and just put your head down and grind, and try to stay out of people's ways. And this is actually not very good for dating, because a lot of times, if we're raised this way, we might see someone we like or someone we have a crush on, and we would try to not be too forward, and maybe be friends with that person first, befriend that person first, and then eventually work up the courage to ask that person out. This could be very detrimental, because when it comes to women, they see guys in two categories. One is the friends category. The other one is going to be romantic category. And whereas like guys, we can be like, hey, you can be my friend and you can be romantic, which girls don't see things that way. If you got put into the friend category, it's almost impossible for you to come out of that category and be put in the relationship category. So it's important to let your intentions be known. It's important to let the girl know that you're actually into her romantically, sexually, whichever, and not be shy about what you want with her. So if you're struggling to come up with things to say, or what to tell her, how to let your intentions known, have two very good phrases. And let me go over that right quick. And you can totally steal these from me. So let's try these out, right? Let's say that you just met this girl, and then you find her really attractive and really interesting. You want to take her out. This is what you say. Hey, I think you're really interesting as a person, and I want to take you on a date. Would you want to go out sometime? That's number one. Now repeat that after me. I think you're a very interesting person. I want to take you out on a date sometime. Would you want to go out? Pretty easy. Gets the point across, and it shows that you're confident, you're not afraid to ask. And let's go over number two now. Number two is, I think you're very attractive, and I enjoy talking to you. What do you say we go for a drink sometime this week? So let's go over this one more time. I think you're very attractive, and I enjoy talking to you. What do you say we go for some drinks sometime this week? Right? Pretty simple. Gets the point across. It shows that you're not just trying to be friends with her. You want something more. And in this case, she could say yes or no, and wouldn't waste each other's time. Great. Now I know I said a lot of stuff, but let's do a little recap. Number one, dating advice for Asian guys is don't be afraid to be Asian. Number two, understanding your self-worth. Number three, don't be too agreeable. Number four, let your intentions known. All right, now I hope this video helped. If it did, give me a little like. I'm not asking for too much, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, peace.